Welcome back, terrestrials. In this episode, we're doing 2017's It.
Chapter 1.
Chapter 1, 2017.
Right.
Actually, this one's called It. And then the second one is called It Chapter 2.
Right.
Um, so the video store totals is the movie is It. Director Andy Muschietti.
Mm-hmm.
The budget was $40 million. It only made back $701 million. Kills, there's 8 in this movie. Pennywise is said to have somewhere between 8 or 12 to 18,000 kills.
Right.
Nudity, nah. So let's kick into it. What's your grade, Jerry?
I'm going A minus.
I like that answer.
Okay.
Um, I think A. Just well, you know what?
I'm gonna
Yeah.
give the
Wait, are
minus.
we doing the S shit? No.
We can. I mean, if you feel like it is
No.
above
No,
all
no,
the
no.
I
I
mean,
just
is it a
see it
point blank
depends on if
break?
the no, but what I'm
Okay.
saying is if the S is there, then I'm going to give it a plain A. If the S is not there, then I'm going to give it an A minus. You
The
see
S
what I'm
is
saying?
there. Like I said, if you find a,
Okay, so
a
the
point,
S is
yeah.
always there. Okay.
Yeah, the S is always there. I mean, point break.
Then A.
So
I think I think that this movie really started quality remakes outside of Dawn
yeah, I
of the
don't know
Dead.
when like like Suspiria
That
was
was
remade.
2018. So that
Okay.
was like a year after this.
Yeah.
The only remake before this that was like this caliber was probably that Dawn of the Dead.
Hmm.
Um, Off the top of my head, there might be
Right. I mean,
something.
like remakes once in a while come along and are fantastic.
Mhm,
Sometimes they're just like, why? Most of the time they're like, why? But
mhm.
I think with the material that he had, he couldn't go wrong. Like anything's better than that mini series or movie back in
Mhm.
the day. It's not like my minus. Like I've been focusing on the minus a lot lately because I could have
Okay.
given it just an A, but my
Mhm.
minus, like where does that minus come from? Why isn't it just a straight A?
Right.
Because it is a good movie. I will give you that. It is a good
I know,
movie.
and you've been desperately not trying to watch this movie for so long.
And I realized why. I don't like it. I don't like it. I
Yeah,
don't think like in the world. I mean, yeah, Tim Curry is a charismatic fucking genius and
for sure.
carried that goddamn movie. I mean, everybody was like, "Oh my god, you got to see it and stuff." And it's a shitty
Mhm,
ass fucking movie. I don't care. It's just not like what I really want. And
mhm,
the book, I ain't read the book, but I've heard a
mhm.
lot of shit. And I know Stephen King was off his fucking rocker when he was writing the book.
I've
And
read the book.
have you? Okay.
And yeah,
Is
and
it
this movie lacks the child gangbang scene,
or the
which is a
cosmic
positive.
turtle or the fucking like
The cosmic turtle shit, like, okay, fine. Like I remember getting to that part in the book and being like, wait, you're flying through outer space
right,
and there's a cosmic turtle. This doesn't really make any sense to me, but
right.
I
See,
was
I
along for
think
the ride.
yeah, I think Stephen King is a great writer. He can come up with really cool ideas. And I think also we need to like really just help Stephen King because I think when he was a child, he found a dead body. I really do think that was just something that he just keeps bringing up in every one of his goddamn movies and stuff of like, we're going to go find a dead body and shit, or like, or something because it comes up in almost
I
every
mean,
one of his goddamn.
maybe in that time period in American history, it wasn't crazy to stumble
just
across a
just to
dead body.
stumble around fucking just bodies be
Yeah.
laying all over the fucking place. But no, like the source material of Stephen King, if you can take from that and make your own movie And that's what this director did. He made his own movie from it. He realizes there's a bunch of
He's
shit you
stuck.
don't need, you
There
know.
is stuff that you don't need, and but he stuck to the source material.
Yeah, I
The
mean,
the
you can
90s
stick to it.
movie, the 90s movie for what it was okay.
Mm,
Obviously, Tim Curry was the draw of that movie.
right.
This movie took more of what was in the book and showed it in a light that the book touched on.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I mean, this, if you think about it, like, this is very close to Stand By Me coming of age style movie,
Mm-hmm.
but also it deals with a lot of heavy subjects. Like, they're undertones and they're not slap you in the face, but it deals with molestation, racism, mental illness, being gay,
Mm-hmm.
Munchausen syndrome by proxy, grief, loss. Like, all of each of these characters are dealing with one of those things.
Mm-hmm.
And that's heavy as fuck for a
Right.
movie like this, on top of a scary clown.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's insane. That's why I like this movie so much, is
Okay.
because each character is bringing something detrimental to the story.
Right.
Bill's going through grief, loss of his brother.
Right.
Beverly's been molested by her dad. The
Because that was implied. I thought he was just abusive to her.
Nah, you. I think I when
But
he's like, "You still my little girl," like,
right. But then
that's
again, there is
molesting.
like those things that are like undertones. It's like, how come the whole town thinks she's a whore? Like, it's
Yeah,
just like, why do they think she's a whore? Fucking, it just seemed like,
well, because that fucking Bowers kid, the psycho Bowers, said that he
right,
banged her,
right,
which he's whatever. The kid deals with racism. Like,
yeah.
Bowers is racist towards him. The mental illness of Bowers, like Richie being gay,
Which one was Richie?
Wolf and Hart, Stranger Things.
Do you think he's gay?
They touch on it more in the second one. We'll get
Okay. All right. Well,
but
that
the little nerdy kid, like the Munchausen by proxy, like
right.
they're what does he say? They're
They're gazebos.
they're gazebos. That
Yeah.
shit was fucking hilarious. But like, they're all bringing something to the table to
Right.
deal with, and that I liked a lot.
Right. I will say that the kids are great with what they were given. But like there were a lot of kids there. Like in if this was not like IP and this
Mhm.
was just like a movie that someone was writing, I don't see them throwing like fucking 20 kids in there, kind of like what there's seven
Uh,
kids.
let's see, Bill, the
Okay.
super,
Dead
okay,
brother, sick
okay. Well,
boy.
I didn't count him because he was just like
Well, no,
split
not I'm not
second.
actually saying the dead brother. I'm just saying like things that happen in the
Kids
movie.
overall,
No, no,
like
no. I'm
how?
just saying like okay, the
Okay,
kid with the dead brother,
okay, Bill,
the sick boy,
yeah,
uh glasses,
yeah,
Jewish kid,
uh-huh,
black kid,
uh-huh,
fat
Beverly,
kid,
yeah, Ben, and
girl.
Beverly, seven,
Yeah,
so seven, yeah,
seven kids.
seven main characters.
And unfortunately, some of the kids kind of have to like be shadowed. And I feel like the poor black kid and Jewish kid just kind of like took the back seat for a lot of stuff. Like we
Yeah,
don't get a lot of stuff with them.
well, you get less stuff with
You get right.
the Jewish kid in the second one.
Okay.
Um, I'm excited for you to see the second one
Yeah. Well, if
because,
it mirrors the old 90s movie, I think I knew what happens. So,
well, no, it's
okay.
just a continuation of this. Actually, there was rumored to be like a 7 hour cut of
Holy
this movie
shit.
coming out, where it was one into two and then
Right.
two. So
Right.
they were going to go back and film more stuff and then have it be like one long ass movie
Holy
instead.
smokes.
I was looking forward to that. But
Fucking
anyways,
yeah. But the
what did you
kids,
think about Bill Skarsgård as
like
Pennywise.
okay, like it's fine. Like all of the stuff that they talked about, like not Tim Curry, and it's like, yeah, it's not Tim Curry, but it's fine. It's good. It was iconic. I mean, God knows how many fucking Rule 34 it's I saw out there when this
Mhm.
movie was coming out.
Yeah.
Now I think once it reaches that like potential, it's like, okay, that's iconic.
Yeah.
Um, he did good with what he had to work with.
Mhm.
My brain obviously starts kicking in. Um, Before I get into that though, I want to
Okay.
ask you, okay, we fucking really get on heavy CGI. And
Mhm.
this is very heavy CGI, but also I noticed something new. This is one of those 3D movies that are converted to a 2D. So, did you notice the 2D it?
I'm not following.
Okay, Pennywise. Okay, at certain
Yes, I
points when they're trying to do like the jump scares and
mm,
certain points with
yeah.
Bill Skarsgård, he's like,
This movie was never made in 3D.
yeah, no, it was all 3D. This movie was a 3D movie.
It
Like,
wasn't released in 3D.
yeah, it was, you put your glasses on. That's where like the where his head is like going like that, because the head would like come out like not like red and blue glasses. I'm talking about like the modern day 3Ds.
I
Like,
don't Are you
yeah.
sure of that?
Mm-hmm.
I've never I've followed this movie from when it came out, like when it was going to come out
Hmm. I
to
mean,
when
they
it came
had like
out.
2D versions come out, but it was
Well,
mostly
obviously
like
that's what we watched was
a
2D
three,
versions.
yeah, a 3D
I never heard
like.
anything about 3D.
Yeah, it was a 3D, like one of those 3D styles. You go and get the blur glasses and but you can see it in certain scenes. Did I dislike it? No, but it kind of gave like a little Roger Rabbit feel where it kind of like was different color or a little bright color, but
No, I didn't gather
you
any
didn't
of
get them?
that.
Okay. I mean, the certain scenes where you can tell it's him and like it's just him in a small role moment look great. The barnyard with the balloon, I mean the old house with the balloons going up. That looked cool, but like, oh shit, I'm trying to remember. Oh, it's all when they're in the house and like Pennywise comes out of the refrigerator. He's like
mhm,
tangled up in the fridge and like
yeah.
upside down and he like kind of and then he jumps out of the fridge. He does kind of like that and I was like he looks like it looks like rendered, not bad, but just like I could tell it feels different, that
Okay, so this
uncanny valley.
movie never came out in 3D. I just looked at Wikipedia's list of 3D movies for 2017, and this movie
Really?
was not. Yeah,
I
no,
swear
yeah,
to
I knew
God,
it
it was
wasn't.
like you see it in
No,
3D.
no, no. There was a ton of fucking movies in 2017 that came out in 3D, but no, this isn't one of them. Resident Evil was,
Yeah.
Kong was, Ghost
Yeah.
in the
Ugh.
Shell, Guardians of the Galaxy 2, Wonder Woman, The Mummy. Yeah, not it. It was never a 3D movie. So, if you got that appearance from it, I guess I see certain aspects of it that can make you think that, and maybe initially that was an idea for them because 3D was popular at that time.
Mhm.
But
Like I did not like it 3D movies. I can't do them.
see, I never saw anything that was like when Jason shoots the fucking arrow
Oh
and it's
no, that's
coming,
old
like right, right.
3D stuff.
But I'm saying like that like idea of something coming at you,
Right.
that I didn't see any of that. I didn't recognize any of that.
All right.
Um, but
Eh,
when you mentioned the CGI thing,
yeah.
this is a very good combination of CGI and practical effects.
Okay.
I think that a lot of what looks CGI is practical with CGI enhancements.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times when you see Pennywise's face and you're like, "Ooh, that looks pretty CGI." It's actually Bill Skarsgård's face, and they've touched it up with CGI to get it to do what it want.
Right. I wish they would
But
have fixed the poor man's contacts. My brain could not unsee like one's looking at 3 and one's looking at 11.
that's real.
Oh, they fucked the contacts up like that? Or he
No,
just
that's
does he do that
real.
naturally?
He can do that.
Ooh.
There's a very famous picture of because of this movie.
Right.
There's a very famous picture of Bill Hader from the second movie. He
Right.
plays Finn Wolfhard's character, Richie, walking up to Bill Skarsgård and going, "Hey, how did they do that with the eyes?" And Bill does it, and Skarsgård does it, and
Scar.
he's freaking out and running from him.
Duh.
It's very famous series of pictures you can look at.
That's funny.
Skarsgård can do that. That's real. So
That's
that
funny.
wasn't a computer. That's what I'm saying though. A lot
I'm
of the
glad.
stuff isn't CGI that you may think is CGI, but there
Right.
are little enhancements and things.
Right.
Um,
But like the character of Pennywise feels um like more maleficent and maleficent. It's scary.
that's
He's scary in this, and I
mhm,
enjoy it a
mhm.
lot more than the Tim Curry because Tim Curry, it's like I don't give a shit what he's in. Fucking, he's amazing,
Yeah.
and that's how the Tim Curry like Tim Curry and it felt. So, um,
I think this movie does a good job of setting itself apart from any of the other it stuff right away.
right.
Like the second you see his arm missing and
Yeah,
is
it's a hard
bleeding,
R.
yeah, and you're just like, oh, okay, yeah, this isn't that. Like
Mm.
this isn't 90s it. All right, got it. Cool.
Yeah, I mean, it makes the character more, compared to Tim Curry just sitting there and like, okay, put the teeth in, rah, or,
Yeah,
that shit
yeah,
where,
yeah.
and I'm just glad, no, like, uh, fake mist and shit, fucking from like this is battery acid, and he sprays the goddamn inhaler on him and stuff. And I'm so glad. And I'm also glad where they all float down here. It's like, oh, cool. That's where that comes from. The souls of the it consuming, they're floating. Okay, that's cool. I'm glad they did that
Yeah, that did look cool as shit.
instead of just like make a simple line because they're in a sewer. Um, but the the original was in the 50s. This one's in the 80s. Is that a good transition?
I think so.
Do you?
Well,
Yeah.
I no, this one still takes place in the like it's not the 80s, I don't think.
Yeah.
Is it? Because
Yeah.
it didn't well,
Yeah.
yeah,
They go to
because
the
New Kids
marquee,
on the Block and
new
shit.
kids on the block, and
That's fucking
the in the
hilarious.
theater they're going to the Nightmare on Elm Street 5.
Right,
This
yeah.
is like there,
There's
and
and that's another thing that I like about it. Like there's still plenty of tongue in cheek in this movie.
mhm.
And I like that, Nightmare on Elm Street 5 was the movie in the theater. I like that when they're in the house and she's like acting scared of the or they're in Ben's uh room and they're talking about the what is it? The whatever dairy and how it works or what it was or all that stuff.
Oh, that it was like a mining town, a beaver town,
Yeah, yeah.
and like, yeah.
Um, I like that they played the New Kids on the Block in that,
Yeah,
like
oh, where
when
she
she
moves
like throws
the door and
yeah,
the
yeah,
posters there. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that's
It's
cool.
funny because there's like so many different aspects to this movie. It's like there's little moments of levity. Um, like if you weren't a kid and you didn't have a rock war, like were you even a kid? Like
Right.
I remember rock wars literally across a stream just like that. Like almost like weekly, and
Hmm.
kids would fucking lose chunks of ears and like
Right.
break teeth. Like, I mean, the movie is a lot of nostalgia on top of it just being amazing. Like,
Right.
I thought that this movie was so good. I
It
mean,
does identify with like, okay, kids, what do kids do? Like
right.
even them complaining like it's the summer, we're supposed to be having fun. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's
And
the
Bill's being a
perfect,
fucking Debbie Downer looking for a dead
yeah,
missing brother.
like
God,
yeah.
loser.
Um it was all great until like the director was like, okay, now everybody's gonna get in underwear and go to the and then like my brain's like, Stephen King wrote an underage gangbang in this fucking movie. This is fucking horrible.
I
Like,
mean, I
like,
like all right, so
couldn't the kids go to the mall instead of
in the
fucking
span, there
rock
ain't no
quarry?
mall, there ain't no mall in Derry. And in the 80s, you
You're
didn't go to the mall, you went to the quarry.
right.
Um,
Ugh.
but in the span of kids in tidy whities and kid gangbang, let's just be happy it was on this end of the spectrum. Because
Right,
I read the book
right.
and it's not detailed.
Do you think Stephen
So
King went to the theater in this and was like, bullshit. Another goddamn theater, another fucking movie that's taken first. It's goddamn Stanley Kubrick, then Brian De Palma,
yeah.
and then fucking John Carpenter. They all get my work wrong. Like, shut the fuck up, Stephen King. Quit writing books on
I
cocaine,
don't
man.
know. I think I think it's funny that he said that his writing started to suck when he quit smoking cigarettes. It wasn't the booze and the coke
Yeah,
that
yeah,
that made his stories awesome. It
yeah.
was the nicotine.
There
Yeah,
you go.
okay, Stephen King.
There you go.
Um
Fucking,
but yeah, he was willing to be in the second one, so
uh,
apparently it wasn't, he was pretty quite happy with these.
yeah. I mean, you can, and that's what I mean by source material is that, like, he wrote like, I hate when somebody garnishes their source material as like that's the Bible that you have to follow. It's like,
Yeah.
no, like Kubrick, like The Shining and like Carrie, there's shit missing because
No.
it's a big fucking book and I got to tell this story in 2 hours, man. You
Yeah,
know?
I think that that's a sign of a lazy director, and whoever opted the picture from the book. I think that that's a sign of a lazy person
What do you
that's
mean?
like, let's just go shot for shot of
Oh
what's in
yeah.
the book.
Yeah.
Like it's
You
kind of
can't you
like
can't
a
shoot a
rough
movie that
draft.
way.
Right. But it's also like a rough draft. You know
Right.
what I mean? Like you take the book and you go, okay, this book is amazing because the book is amazing. Granted, there is a gangbang with a bunch of kids, but outside of that and the N word being thrown around in the book a
Yeah.
lot, uh, the book is really good. So you take that and you go, okay, well, we're going to take out the kid gangbang and we're going to take out the N word. We're going to take out the cosmic turtle. We're going to save that for the next one. Like they take these aspects and they go, all right, this is a good starting base. What
Right.
can we tweak to make it fit now?
Yeah.
What parts lack, which parts don't fit anymore, which parts are too racist and too pedophilic for today's time.
Yeah. You
And
just take what is good and
yeah,
throw away just the crud. That's why I think Maximum Overdrive didn't work that well because King was like, no, 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 I'm directing this. Fucking
no,
fucking green mist in the sky. And it's like,
no.
oh man, Steve, no. Um, like fucking what did they want? He was mad about that the hedge lions weren't in The Shining.
Mhm.
like right before the fucking
Yeah.
maze, the hedge
Yeah.
maze. They were supposed to be
Well, because he
lions.
made a big deal out of them in the book. It was like a
Right.
big descriptor. So,
Right. Let's see fucking Stanley Kubrick just sitting there letting King punch himself out, yelling circles and shit, you
mhm.
know. But like,
It's a Werner Herzog Boskinski thing.
yeah,
I let him punch himself out so that he's normal when we start
right.
acting. Like,
Yeah, but that's where this movie really does a good job. Okay, what do we got to have? We got to have a clown. We got to have a small town, shit town. What? Well, you don't want to put like a shit town where they have cell phones. So we'll put a shit town where in the 80s. That seems
mhm,
good.
mhm,
Uh, you need like certain things. You need a creepy house instead of like a sewage plant. It's
mhm,
like, oh no, the sewage plant closed and then they built this house over top.
mhm,
uh just these small things that kind of like grow leaves of its own, where it's like, oh, that's cool, that looks nice.
mhm,
The cinematography, like, keep it simple. You don't
mhm.
need to go crazy on cinematography.
Yeah.
But keep it simple you know
Yeah. Yeah.
so
I think that the director and his wife knew exactly what they wanted, what they were going for, and I think that they honestly nailed it.
right.
One special little thing, it's a small part, but in the beginning, when Mike is in the barn with his grandfather and the evil whites are looking over his shoulder and he's giving the speech to Mike, um,
Oh, okay.
where he's like, you can either be the one holding the gun or you could be on that side of it and you won't know what, like that whole speech. I was like, fuck yeah, man.
Right.
Like that's the kind of talking to the kids need, dude. Like nobody's being like real with these kids anymore. They're like, everything's gonna be okay,
That's
sweetie.
when the
Don't worry
kids
about
look at you
anything.
and go, I go to public school, right? Like
Yeah,
every
well,
day.
yeah,
Fucking,
yeah.
how many active shooter drills did you have to go through, daddy? You know? And that's when you go,
I've been
yeah.
shot at. Thank you very much. And it
But
wasn't.
it's school.
No,
School.
no.
No.
Well, actually, yes, outside
Yeah.
of school, right outside of school.
Yeah, but things
Uh,
were gangsta back then and shit. Fucking, it
right.
was it
Yeah,
was a, it was a
exactly.
crazy time.
Yeah,
Fucking
fucking Blair Witch
Biggie,
Project was out.
Biggie
Tupac was
Tupac.
telling everybody to hit him up.
Fucking
Like, yeah, it
these
was
kids
crazy
don't know,
times.
man. No, like I totally understand the implications that they were trying to say with him.
But well, yeah, but what I'm saying is like that's how our parents talk to us. We
Yeah,
weren't patted on the butt. We weren't told everything's going to be okay. We weren't told like our choices mattered. It was you can get the bolt or you can give the bolt and you better make up your mind
right,
before you're getting the bolt, like before somebody makes that decision for you.
right.
Like, that's it, it's how it was, and they displayed that in the movie, and that conversation I don't remember being in the book.
No, because
So
well, even in the reason it wasn't in the book is because Mike. No, what's the black
it's
kid's
Mike.
fucking name? It was
Yeah, it's
Mike.
Mike. Yeah.
He was supposed to be the library kid. They were like, nah, the black kid's not gonna be the library kid.
I don't think that that's the case because there's definitely a library kid in the book, and I
Yeah, the
don't
black
remember.
kid's the
You know,
library
I
kid
read it.
because
I
he
read it
becomes the
through
town
the
treasury.
pandemic when we were closed down,
Yeah,
so I
like
don't remember it. Yeah,
the
yeah. He is the town's librarian in the
like
second one.
or the no the historian
Yeah,
the
well,
black.
he's the librarian in the second
Ah,
one.
okay.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
works at the library, and yeah, I say it all country, and I say
yeah,
library. Uh,
library
yeah,
library.
library.
Right.
It's not a berry, you idiot.
Yeah.
But yeah, he works in this. He works and he lives above it or whatever. So
Right. Like so I do understand where like to
I think it
change
was
it,
just
but you
I
know
think it was
why?
just a good, accurate portrayal of that time period. That's
Right.
all I'm saying is like
I
I think that they did a good job. Like
I think that
the psycho kid with the knife, like that's all real. Like
oh
that they're
yeah, well,
like all that shit existed, you know.
right,
It was a regular thing. There were those like that's all I'm saying is like that it was a good portrayal of the 80s,
right.
and they made it scary with the clown and shit. But like even if you took the clown out, it's still Stand By Me on crack.
It's
Like
Stand By
there's
Me on
still
crack. I mean,
yeah,
he's
there's
wrote it like
still
4 times, so
right. Yeah, naturally.
you know. But now going back, I think like from the original show, the
Mhm,
original movie to this one,
mhm,
they had to like because I think any film director will look and go, this is a lot of goddamn fucking people to kind of invest in. So some people got a little bit more. I think the one that stands out the best is Bev.
mhm,
I think from the original to this one, she's way better. Her
mhm.
story is way more better.
Yeah, yeah.
And Seth Green. Richie with the glasses.
Seth Green.
That's who
Wow.
plays him in the original.
Yeah.
But
I just like that just made me
yeah,
threw
his
me off super
character
hard.
a lot better.
Mhm,
Um, but yeah, like I said, there are some kids there that like kind of got, smaller,
mhm.
oh, we'll give this to him and we'll give that to him, kind of deal. So, and
Yeah, I mean if it like I don't like I said, I don't remember the book overly well. I've just read it the one time, and when you're 1200 pages into the book, you kind of forget the first 400.
well,
But uh
that's Stephen King. He writes so much in a book that you go, I don't even remember what the
I'm
fuck happened in the
I'm
beginning.
aware. I'm aware. I'm fucking in this one right now.
Right.
So, yeah. Uh but I I I think that they did a good job. And one of the main things that I think that the next one's really fun too. There's like really good parts and you see like some really good acting. But I think that they made it very believable.
Hmm.
Like these kids grew up. And I think that
Yeah.
they did a
Well,
really good job at
you have
that.
to wait.
So,
So
um, but no, but what I'm saying is they did a good job at setting the groundwork in this one.
oh, okay.
So that when you see the second one, you're like, damn, that transitions perfectly into this
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
Um,
I've heard
but
that
those
it's
same
really good.
people that are like lacking in this one,
They pick up in the second one.
they
Oh
lack in the next one. I don't want to spoil anything for
shit.
you,
Yeah, no,
but
don't. I mean,
yeah. I'm not going to,
I hope
but
the clown wins in this version. Fucking
no,
Tim
not quite.
Curry comes back and it's just like, I don't know. You got Prince Albert in a can? Fucking beep beep. Um, yeah, it's a good movie. I
Yeah.
enjoyed it.